Hail Satan, brothers and sisters, back again. And by the way, my nickname is Ave Satanas. I love every one of my brothers and sisters who are 100% true to their path. Hail, beautiful Father Satan. Hail, beautiful Lord King Lucifer. Hail, beautiful. Every demon and every demoness is beautiful, in my opinion. Hail, Father Satan. Sorry about a little bit of shaking there on my phone. Ave Satanas. Ave Lucifera. I'm going to do this one, talk a little bit about pacts. Okay, about making a pact with Father. I know I did videos before on it, a couple of videos, maybe 3 or 4, possibly. I'm going to do them about making pacts with Father Satan and any of the demonic. Any demon whatsoever. Any demon that you decide. This is mostly for new people too, by the way, because the older people pretty much know, right? Not the older people, I should say. But the people that have been on the path for a while. The theistic traditional Satanism path. They pretty much know. So I'm going to do a little bit of talking about doing pacts and stuff like that. And what a pact, how important it is to make sure that you know exactly what you're doing. And make sure what you say in your pact you are going to hold true to. That you're not going to just fucking do some of it and then leave the rest out. The rest that you said, because I guarantee you, and I put my life on the line for this one right now. Okay? Father Satan, and whichever demon or demoness, whichever ancient god that you hold the pact to, or you do a pact for, or with, they will hold you right to the dotted I, right to the every period. Every word you said, they will hold it right to it. And which they should. So that's why when you do a pact, that's why you should do a lot of thinking before you do the pact. And when you write the pact out, you should write a pact out before you do it. Okay? And wait at least 1 year before you should do a pact, in my opinion. But a lot of people don't, and they still hold to it. So, I'm just saying that's what I done. I waited about a year. It was a year, actually. A couple days past a year. And when you do a pact, when you write it out, you should leave it for one night, and then the next day you should go over what you wrote and what you promised that you were going to do for Father Satan, like the things you promised them, basically what you wrote in the pact, and what you want in return from that, or what you expect in return for that. And what you should do is the next day you go over it again just to make sure that that's exactly what you promise, because you don't want to promise things in a pact that you can't come through with. Like, that's just wrong. And Father Satan will hold you to it. Don't worry, man. Father Satan, King Lucifer, every demon and every demoness that there is, all the ancient gods, they will hold you to every word, every dotted letter, every period, every exclamation point, question mark, colon, semicolon. They will hold you to everything on it. Okay? And there's no guide, okay, to practicing traditional Satanism, which there isn't. It would be incomplete without me discussing pacts. Like, I love talking about making spiritual pacts. Okay? Making pacts with Satan and any of the ancient gods, demonesses, or demons. When you make a pact with Father Satan, make sure you write your pact out first. Okay? And think about what you're going to say, and about what you are committing yourself to. Because whatever you write, okay, and I just said this, whatever you write, Satan will most likely hold you right to the letter of the pact. So don't make grandiose promises you do not intend to keep. If you are smart, you might want to write your entire pact out first, let it sit for the night, and look at it again the following day, to be sure that you have worded everything exactly like you meant to. There is nothing worse than making promises to Father Satan, or any demon or demoness, any ancient gods, and then falling short of them, or making promises that you later regret. For example, I had a friend once, okay? I had a friend once who swore to Satan that he would never date another woman because women got in the way of his relationship with Satan, with Father Satan. So he has made a permanent pact with Satan that he will never date another woman. And the man's not gay either. Okay, so he had made a permanent pact with Satan that he would never date another woman in his life. Okay? And he did. He did it primarily because he was upset about a prior relationship he had. See, that's the thing. He was pissed off. A friend of mine, he was pissed off about a bad relationship ended bad for him, right? And he made a pact with Father Satan that he would never date another woman. Like, come on. Like, that's not even realistic. Now, he's going to have to answer for that. Not me, him. A pact like this is obviously not the greatest idea in the world, because you are almost guaranteed to fail at keeping the commitment you have made at some point in your life. Nor is a time of high emotional stress where you are likely to say things that you later regret a good time to make a pact with Satan. Let me stress again, this story is an example, and it's a true story, to be honest with you, okay? This story is an example of what to do not do, okay? What not to do. Let's sit down, I gotta stand up again. This is an example of what not to do. If you are going to make a pact with Father Satan or any of his demons, okay, you should do it only after you have taken time to think. After you have taken time to think very seriously, okay, very, very seriously, of the commitments you are making and the possible consequence that may arise as a result of these commitments. So a lot of people think making a pact there's no serious consequences to it, but there is, very serious. It's not a joke, by no means, and I'm 100% serious. I'm dead serious about that. Making pacts with Father Satan or King Lucifer or King Paimon or any of the demonic, beautiful Queen Lilith, any of the demonic divine is no joke. It's serious. Okay? You should do it only after you have taken the time to think over the seriousness of the commitments you are making and the possible consequences that may arise as a result of these commitments. Now let's talk about different types of pacts, okay? We can talk about different types of pacts again. Now let's talk about different types of pacts an individual can make. The first one is dedicating your soul to Satan's service, which is an eternal part. Which is an eternal part. This is binding, not only in this life but in the afterlife, and the lives that are to come. As the Al-Jawah states, none shall live in this world longer than the time set by me, and if I so desire, I send a person a second or a third time into this world or into some other by the transmigrations of souls. So that's stated in Al-Jawah also. Okay? The first thing you should know about a pact like this is that Satan can alter the conditions of the pact, his will, and he can break the pact with you. But you, even if you break your word, can never sever the pact with him. Even if you fail to fulfill the conditions of the agreement that you have made, it does not evaluate the contract for your soul. He might agree to help you in return for that gift, provided you meet his conditions. His conditions, not ours. But if you break these conditions or agreement that you have made, it does not necessarily mean that your soul is not still a gift to him. He still owns your soul regardless of what you do. And that is a 100% fact. If any person makes a pact with Father Satan and offers them his soul, okay, his soul your soul is Father Satan's no matter what you do. You can turn to one of the Zion belief systems and get saved, as they call it, or do whatever, but your soul still belongs to Father Satan when you die, no matter what happens, no matter what the fuck you do. Okay? And that's a fact. There's no getting out of it once you do it. It's a life, it's eternity you're talking about here. You're not talking about next week. Okay? Satan and his demons may allow you to retrograde the agreements that you have made, but whether you are allowed to do this whether you are allowed to do this is entirely at their discretion, not yours. So in other words, if they agree with it, it's up to them basically, entirely. Okay? This type of pact is not a temporary pact. It's not a pact for a week or a month or 6 months or a year. This is eternity. Okay? This type of pact is not a temporary pact. It is an eternal part and has no expiration date, no expiry date. So it's eternal. Many medieval grimoires cite cases where the devil has made a pact with someone for a set period of time, set 10 years, and during that time, he gives them everything their heart desires, and at the end of that time period, they die, and their soul belongs to him. An example of a time-dependent pact can be found in Richard Cavendish's book, The Black Arts, published in 1967. Fuck, that's a year before I was born. According to the author, this certain pact was to last for a period of 20 years. While this may be a great fodder for movies and plays, at least in my personal experience and the experiences of many other Satanists, I know Satan doesn't work like this. He don't work like that. Sorry. That's Hollywood bullshit. Okay, where was I to? Okay. Once you make a pact with him, he wants you to do as much work for him while you are alive as possible. When you make an eternal pact, you are making a commitment to be a servant and messenger for him. You are not doing it for the purpose of achieving material wealth or fame, or at least you shouldn't be. Now I am not suggesting I'm not suggesting to you that Satan couldn't or doesn't make those kind of deals, because he does. But I personally have never witnessed a pact like that. I really haven't, not in my lifetime. And I've been in the left-hand path a long time. I've been a Satanist, theistic Satanist, traditional Satanist, demonologer for many years. And I have never witnessed that. The reason I bring this up is because there are people in the satanic, and this is the reason why I'm bringing it up, okay? Because there's people in the satanic community who are teaching you that you can make a temporary pact with Satan, almost as if having a relationship with Satan is like test driving a car, which is 100% true. There are people in the satanic community that talk about making pacts like you're fucking driving to rent a car that you're gonna buy. That's bullshit. Once you make a pact, it's for life. It's eternal. It's not for a week or a month. Okay? The reason I bring this up is because there are people in the satanic community who are teaching that you can make a temporary pact with Satan, almost as if having a relationship with Satan is like test driving a car. If you don't like the way it drives, you can take the car back. But let me assure you, the Lord of Darkness is no fucking car. And if you try to fuck with Satan and try to outsmart him, you'll end up losing, and that's the end of that. That's a 100% fact. Deal every time. You can make a temporary pact with Satan or demons, but it's not usually a deal for your soul or committing to their eternal service. It is usually a temporary pact dealing with something more mundane. For example, you can make a pact to do something for a demon in return for their guidance and their insight. And that pact may have a time limit. But a pact for your soul does not. No, I just said that. It's eternal. If you are going to make a pact with Satan, the best time to do it is on Halloween. That's when I did mine. My first pact with Father Satan. My eternal pact with Father Satan I did on Halloween. Okay? Because we consider that to be the most sacred holiday to Satan. And the day when he is at his most powerful. If for whatever reasons you cannot make a pact with Satan on Halloween, make sure that you do it during the darkest months of the year. For example, any time between Halloween and spring, the spring equinox, is preferable. The closer it is to Halloween, when you make your pact, the better. Nothing in Satan's kingdom comes without a price. You should not give into the habit of making requests to Satan and his demons without giving some type of offering in return. You're fucking right. You gotta give some kind of offering in return if you're making a pact. Okay? In the case of pacts with Satan and his demonic empire, his demonic kingdom, it is traditional to give some of your own blood, which it is 100% traditional. Okay? When you have completed your pact, you do not literally have to sign your name in blood. You can sign your name with a pen or a quill, and then you put a spot of blood or drops from the wound that you have made next to the name. This is the way a pact is usually made. I usually use a lot of blood because I usually slice myself wide open. The more blood, the way I am, the more blood, the better. But that's just me, right? Everybody's different. Okay? This is the way a pact is usually made with a few drops of blood or a load of blood. Doesn't matter. Just as long as it's your DNA and your blood and everything there. Okay? Your life's blood. This is not only unnecessary, but impractical, and is usually indication that there are probably not there. This is the way a pact is usually made. I have heard some people suggest that the only way to make a pact with Satan is to write the entire pact with blood, as well as the name. No, you don't need to write your entire pact. You write your entire pact with pen or something like that. You don't need to write your entire pact with blood. This is not only unnecessary, but impractical, and it's usually an indication that they are probably not practicing Satanists, because the amount of blood needed to write an average pact would be excessive unless it was short. That does not mean it's impossible. It is impossible. It would just take you a great deal of time. I doubt most people who claim to have done their pact this way actually done. I do too, to be honest with you. I really have. I always have. Because most people who do pacts, they don't do it that way. They don't drain themselves of blood. Not completely. Like, I use a nice bit of blood, but like I give myself a good cut, but I don't slash my wrist right to the bone either, right? Even though, Anyway, that was the one about pacts. I'm going to do another little short one. I'm going to read a demonic creed on my next video, because the sister was asking me about it last night when I was talking to her on video chat. So, Ave Satanas, hail brothers and sisters. I hope you have a very sinful and lustful weekend, and a very sinful and lustful Friday night. I hope everything goes great for my true brothers and sisters. And Ave Satanas, and I'll talk to you next. I love every single one of my true brothers and sisters. Hail Satan.